Does looking at your dance studio bank account statement make you want to cry? Because here's the deal, I've been there, and I can tell you that if you're trying to add on new programs, enroll more students, and don't get the results, aka dollar signs in your account, it can make you want to just throw your hands up in the air, right? It's like, what am I even doing? Right? So, on this week's episode, I want to share with you the easiest and quickest path to more cash in your dance studio. Now, this isn't about getting new kiddos in the door or adding another new revenue stream. This is about one small, tiny tweak that can really yield huge results. And as a studio owner, I know that finances and numbers, it may not be your cup of tea. It may not be your favorite job to take on, but I promise you, with this one simple little tweak, you will be doing a happy dance all the way to the bank. So, my friends, I am Erin Burd. I am your dance studio strategist who works with studio owners and dance educators to really create their own unique vision of success, grow their studios without overwhelm, exhaust, and sacrificing their personal lives, and just bringing more joy into your lives, right? And so if you're joining me, say, hey, Erin, what is up? Let me know that you're here. I always want to know who is with me when we're having these conversations on the Erin Burd Show live, y'all. So jump on in, say hello, let me know where you're coming from, right? And if you are coming in on the replay, I want to know that as well. So if you come back in, know that I want you to just dive in, and I will come back around later this week, later this month. It notifies me whenever you come on and you comment and you watch this broadcast. So if you're coming in on the replay, I want to know that as well. But say hello, let me know where you're at, and I want to tell you guys that we learn out loud around here. We learn out loud. So what does that mean? So as we're going through this, if you have a aha moment, if there's that little gold nugget that you're like, oh my gosh, this is yes, 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 yes. I want you to do a little hashtag takeaway because it helps us. It does a couple things actually. When we learn out loud and we type in their hashtag takeaway, it really anchors in the idea, right? And it also helps others learn and see what your takeaways are as well. So I'm going to get this going in here. Know that, hey, it's so good to see you too. Hello there. Good morning. Good morning. Or it might be afternoon where you're at. Not sure. But hey there. I'm so excited to be here. And I want us to lean into this idea because we're going to be chatting here a little bit about finances, dollars and cents. And as I have been talking with so many studio owners, the last, my goodness, well, this is an ongoing theme here in our industry, y'all, but this has been coming up inside my own camp with my clients very recently, probably the last, oh my goodness, month, 6 weeks. This keeps coming up over and over again. So if you're joining me, say, hey, Erin, what's up? I want to know that you're here. I am also multitasking here on 2 screens, and to make sure that I can see your comments. Sometimes they take just a little bit of time to get up there, but I want to make sure that I see them. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay, hello. All right, so guys, let's dive right in. I'm not going to beat around the bush, and I want to tell you guys, lean in, because what I'm about to tell you might be like, oh yeah, heard that before. But I want you to really lean in, and here's why. Because we all might know it, but we might not know the why behind it. And so here's the deal. I'm just going to lay it out there, but I'm going to also come back to you and tell you 3 easy steps or 3 easy little things that you can do to actually put into action today, right? And that can affect your bottom line in 2022. Because raise your hand, let me know in the comments. I want to know who wants to see extra dollar signs on their bottom line, on their profit in 2022. I know I sure do, right? I'm like, yes, raise your hand. Let me know if you want to increase your revenue, if you want to increase your bottom line in 2022. I want to know that in the comments, okay? All right, so here we go. Are we leaning in? So, the easiest and quickest way, duh, right, my friend? Like, yes, show me the money, right? Okay, so, love it. Okay, so the easiest and quickest way without adding more students, without adding new revenue streams and programs, the easiest way to increase your bottom line is to review and revamp. Guys, ready for it? It is going to be to revamp and review your tuition structure. Now hang in here with me, guys, because here's the deal. You might be thinking, and this is what I hear, but Erin, this is the way I've always done it. Or Erin, this is how everyone in my industry or in my community does it. And so if I go out and do a different thing, I don't know that parents will understand it, or they'll buy, or they're not used to it. And that is okay, right? So many times we have our own money stories. There's that, right? We all have them. I don't care how much money you have. We all have a money story, right? And a lot of times it's rooted in, how we were brought up, the messaging and the stories that our parents have, those get inherited to us. It might be the messages and the stories that your spouse has, and it, goes in line with that. And it might be stories that you're telling yourself. And so with that being said, we need to review our tuition structure frequently. And if you haven't done so, especially this season and the last 6 months, you absolutely should. Because I can guarantee you that none of your expenses has gone down. Right? Let me know in the comments, have any of your expenses gone down in the last 6 months, or have they gone up? Right? Because I can tell you my grocery bill, whoa, Nelly, has that gone up? Right? Everything has gone up, and your expenses inside your studio, I am sure they have at minimal stayed the same, if not increased, right? And we have to take a look at that. So we need to review our pricing and our tuition structure. Yes? Okay. So let me know in the comments, when is the last time? Ooh, okay, we're going to talk about that soon. Yes, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so when is the last time that you took a real honest look at your tuition structure and thought, maybe I should make some changes? I want to know that, right? I want to know. Okay, so we need to revamp and restructure your tuition structure. Now, I want to break this down into just 3 easy steps for y'all. All right, we're going to do this in 3 easy steps. And here's what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is our price comparison survey. Now, this is where we put on our detective hats and we survey other enrichment activities in our area and see kind of what our market can bear, right? So we're taking a look at, yes, of course, what are other studios charging if you have others in your area? What does karate lessons cost? What is, if someone wants to go do gymnastics, what does that cost? What if a parent wants to take their child and put them into swimming lessons? What does that cost? Oh, yes. I'm so glad. Yes, yes, yes. She did it this last summer because, I make sure that my clients do it, right? Okay, so price comparison survey. We need to just get an idea. we need to get an idea of where everyone's at. I actually had a client who hadn't done this activity in since pre-pandemic, y'all. Okay, and she thought that she was kind of middle of the pack when it came to pricing. But what it actually revealed to her is that she hadn't raised her prices in several years, and she was now looking like the bargain basement of dance classes, right? And none of us want to be the dollar store dance, y'all. I mean, I know anyone who's here with me absolutely is not the bargain basement, the dollar store of dance. Anyone who's here with me, you guys are top-notch quality studio owners or instructors, and we cannot price ourselves out of alignment with that, right? So this first step is to really have you lean into what else is going on, right? Because sometimes we are so in it and we're so laser focused on all the things going on, right? That we forget something as simple as raising our tuition. Raising our tuition. Now, again, I know what the reality is out there. And I know that a lot of us might feel like, oh my gosh, how could I raise my tuition rates when people are still struggling? And I get that, right? But we cannot sacrifice our own businesses' financial health and well-being because others may have money stories. Yes? Okay. And I know that one's kind of hard. So that's step number one. Step number one is absolutely do your price comparison survey. See where everyone else is at just to see. Just to see. Now, this doesn't dictate what you're necessarily how you're going to price yourself, right? But allows us to know where everyone's out, what your market can bear, right? And you can go from there. Okay. Are we ready for step number 2? In this 3-part easy steps to revamping your tuition structure? All right. Know your numbers, y'all. You have to know your own numbers. We cannot just randomly pick our tuition rates out of thin air. We can't. It's like, oh, well, I think I'm going to charge $40 a month. Okay, but does that not only cover your expenses, but leave you room for profit? Does that allow you to pay yourself a livable salary and wage? Does that allow you to save for your studio? We have to know our numbers. We have to know our numbers. We have to know our expenses. We have to do an audit of our expenses, right? That's something else that you can do to affect your bottom line without getting new students, without starting a whole new program, right? Know your numbers. Here's the thing, guys. If you struggle with numbers, if you struggle with finances, if you struggle with the idea of it or understanding it, that is okay. It's okay to admit that you struggle with that, because what I know is each and every one of you are smarter enough to get support and get help from someone who can explain and teach you and explain that. Yes, Ella, hashtag know your numbers, right? Know your numbers. You have to. You have to know your numbers. And we have to be okay with getting support if you do not know your numbers, right? But we have to make it a priority. We have to make knowing those numbers and taking time to focus on our finances every single week top priority, right? So know your numbers. Don't just randomly pick your tuition rates out of the sky, right? I'm like, that feels good. We have to know our numbers and what percentage of profit we want, right? We have to know that. So that's number 2, is knowing your numbers. Because just because Susie down the road charges $40 a class does not mean that she knows her numbers. It's what she thinks she might be able just to get, right? Or maybe that's what she's been charging for the last 10 years. And she's like, well, it works. But she doesn't know her numbers, right? So you absolutely have to know your numbers, y'all. You have to know your numbers. All right. Now, as you're coming in, thank you. Yes, drop in those hashtag takeaways, right? We want to know what the takeaways are for you. All right. Oh my gosh, I love it. Erin is dropping a word of the Lord today. Yes, we are. I'm going to preach today because here's the thing. It literally hurts my heart, y'all, when I see studio owners and educators undervaluing, right, what they do because they don't know the numbers. Like, it breaks my heart and it pisses me off a little bit, if we're going to be honest. I get a little fired up about it. I do. Because you do so much for your community, your students, your families, and you deserve to be paid appropriately for it. Right? Okay. Now we're going to lean into number 3. And number 3, you guys, is be a unicorn in a field of donkeys. Right? Be a unicorn in a field of donkeys. Just because Susie's charging $40, a month doesn't mean that you have to, right? Stop trading time for dollars. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? If you have a tuition scale that is based on minutes, y'all, stop it. Stop it. If you have 30-minute class, it's $30, and 45-minute class is if you are trading time for dollars, you need to stop it. I hope that you are leaning into this and you are hearing me, because here's what happens. When you trade dollars for time, you are creating and undermining your value. What happens psychologically is that is when we're opening the door for people saying, well, it's December and we only came twice this month, and so I think I need a prorate on my tuition. Stop it. You are creating this idea of trading time for dollars. Stop the madness. Yes, Ella. Oh my gosh, stop the madness, right? I get so fired up because we have to focus on a value-based tuition structure. Stop the madness. Oh my y'all, that leads me to the next thing. Stop the discounts. Stop it. Stop the discounts. Right? If a parent chooses to enroll their child in multiple classes, that is a choice based upon their finances. They get to choose. Why is it your responsibility? Why is it your responsibility to discount your classes because a parent chooses to enroll their child into more than one class or multiple classes? If you know your numbers and you break down your numbers, you will see that those deep discounts for multiple classes are killing you, and those students are actually end up paying, I've seen, oh my goodness, y'all, 50% of what other people are paying per class. Stop with the discounts. Yes, focus on a value-based tuition structure. Okay, y'all. And when we're revamping, I want you to think about this. Lean on in. Hear me out. Fired up today. Right? Fired up and ready to go. If you want parents to have the easiest yes possible when it comes to enrolling their child into your studio, is make it easy for them. When you have this whole trading time for dollars tuition structure, it's confusing, especially if they want to do multiple classes that are multiple lengths and they're trying to add it all up in their head and it doesn't make sense. And so for them, because it does not make sense, it's they're thinking they're running it through the brain. Why don't we just start with the one? Why don't we just start with the one? Because I know that class you told me that we came in and talked about, okay, it's, $50 a month for that 30-minute class. But if I added jazz and I added an acro class and that one's 45 minutes and that one's an hour, and then it's confusing, so they don't say yes right away. Creatives have got to stop whining about others not valuing them when we don't even value ourselves as reflected on pricing. Yes, y'all, your pricing is your declaration to the world of your worth. Do you hear me? Your pricing is your declaration to the world of your value and what you have to offer. So do you want to be the bargain basement, right? Or do you want to show the exceptional value that they get when they walk inside your doors? You get to choose. You get to choose, right? But we need a structure that is easy yeses. Now, what I'm going to propose here might sound a little crazy to some of you, but I want you to lean in because we have implemented this structure in several, not even several, many of my clients' studios. And some magic has happened. I actually just did a studio audit with one of my clients, and with this one small tweak, we found an additional $40,000 of revenue for the year just by changing her tuition structure. What would you do with an extra $40,000 in 2022? Let me know. I want to know. What would you do? I mean, me, I'd add some more vacations because if y'all know me, I love to travel. Right? Yes, Ella, $40,000 by this one tweak for my studio owner. 40 grand. So what would you do with an extra 40 grand? I think a lot of us could do a lot of really fun things. And I can tell you, the more fun we have, the more money we make, right, Ella? All right, so here it is. Lean in, y'all. It's so simple that it might seem stupid. I encourage my clients to charge on a per class tuition structure model. What do I mean by that? Their 30-minute Tiny Talk classes are the same price as their 45-minute combo class. And they're 45. Anything, most of my centers, right, or most of my clients, most of your classes are 60 minutes or under. Now, there is the rare occasion where I have some studio owners who say, Erin, I've got this 90-minute, advanced ballet class because we might be doing stretching and toning, and then we go into our point work, and so I require it's 90 minutes, right? Of course, we are not going to charge the same for a 90-minute class that we do for a 30-minute class. But I want you to lean in, and I want you to listen to me, and I'm going to give you an example right now. That 90-minute class becomes 2 classes. They are required to take together. You cannot take one without the other. Think about when you were in college and you had to take your biology class, which required you to take your lab and your lecture. You could not have one without the other. And guess what? You paid for both. You paid for both. It's 2 classes. But you cannot have one without the other. Okay? Now let me tell you, when you move to this model, it becomes really easy for parents to say yes. Because they know 1 class is X, 2 classes is X, 3 classes is X. Very simple. It's not based on hours and minutes and time. It's based on your value, because whether you're teaching a 30-minute talk class or you're teaching a 45-minute combo class, the value and the amazing awesomeness that's inside that classroom is the same. It's based on your value. Now let me know. I want to know in the comments, who right now is trading time for dollars? Who has a minutes and this whole fee structure where it's 30 minutes and 45 minutes and all this craziness? I want to know. It's okay. This is a safe place. I promise you. Right? And who is saying, nope, I'm going to start thinking about moving this to this value-based structure because I'm worth it. And let me tell you what's happened inside these studios when they make this tweak, and even though it's scary and they think everyone's going to leave and nobody's going to understand, they don't. And what they do is they actually enroll in more classes. They actually enroll in more classes because it's easy for them to understand, which means it's easy for them to say yes when you suggest them taking more classes. When you say, Ella's doing an amazing job in my ballet class, and I'm noticing she would love our lyrical class. It's easy yeses because you're like, oh, it's just another class. It's just this, it's the same. It's another class. It's easy for them to understand. So it's an easy yes. Okay. So, my friends, as simple as it sounds, as we have to evaluate, we have to review, and we have to revamp our tuition structure. If you are currently trading time for dollars, or you've got these deep discounts and this whole discount structure that's craziness, the quickest way to fix your bottom line is to fix your tuition structure. Period. The end. The end. Period. The end. And if you're going into 2022 and you're thinking, I know some things need to change. These last couple years have been craziness, but I am highly committed to turning things around in my studio and moving forward and really getting back to the basics. Then I want you to shoot me a message. We can do a studio audit, right? I would love to chat with you and show you maybe where some gaps are and how you could tweak, make little small tweaks, like this one thing that found $40,000 for my client. We don't have to completely change your studio, but sometimes you need an outsider's perspective to see the small tweaks that can help you make these huge leaps that are life-changing. Yes, thank you. Life-changing. An extra $40,000 a year for some of you would absolutely be life-changing. It'd be life-changing, right? And so today I want to invite you, like, if you want to talk about it, you want to go into 2022 and start getting a handle, right, on your studio, then I want to be there to support you. So I'm here. Shoot me a message, right? And we could chat about it, right? Because truthfully, I'm going into 2022 with visions of studio owners creating their own unique visions of success, right? And, I'm thinking about turning this into a blog because I think we need to sprinkle this out into the world. So if you know a studio owner who could actually needs to hear this message today, share it with them, right? Because I wholeheartedly believe that there are enough students in the world for every studio to be full. I really do believe that. And I believe that as an industry, we need to lift each other up and we need to share when we hear something that is life-changing, that helps us see with new clear eyes what our studios can be. So I think I'm going to turn this into a blog. And so if you want to see this when it comes to a blog or you want a copy of today, just type Revamp in the comments below because y'all, I'm really serious about 2022 being the year that we just take a stand inside our studios, inside our industry, and start pricing ourselves in a way that is value-based instead of undervaluing everything that we do with this whole time for dollars thing, right? This whole time for dollars thing. I want to say to y'all that you can absolutely have everything that you dreamed of. You just have to make the decision that you're going to do it, and that if you need a little support, because we all do, that you can get the support that you need to get you there. This isn't necessarily about comparing ourselves to anyone else. Truth of the matter is that whatever you're feeling, whatever that you would love to see happen in 2022 is absolutely possible, right? But we will have to do some work and we'll have to do some tweaks. We can't do the same thing and expect change to happen. And so I want to do a quick little recap. Some of you might be coming in late, and that is okay. And that's okay. So this one tweak can add thousands of dollars to your bottom line. It can make you do a happy dance all the way to the bank. And it starts with 3 simple shifts because we're going to revamp and review your tuition structure. We're going to start with our price comparison survey. We're going to see what's happening out in our community. We're going to know where we lie currently, right? Number 2, we're going to know our own numbers, y'all. You got to get right with your finances. I know, scary, right? And the last thing is, we're going to be a unicorn in a field of donkeys. And we are going to set ourselves aside and stand out from the pack. We are going to place ourselves and show our value and show everyone that we're okay with doing the scary thing, even if nobody else is doing it that way. We're going to stop with the discounts. We're going to stop with the trading time for dollars. And we're going to make it simple for parents to say yes. And so, before we go, I want to let you know that I'm Erin Burd, and I am your dance studio strategist that is here to walk with you and create a unique plan for you that aligns with your vision of success. Because this is not about a one-size-fits-all. This is not a cookie-cutter situation. Because remember, you're a unicorn in a field of donkeys, right? And we're going to create something that is magical for you and aligns with exactly who you are, who you be, and everything that your studio stands for. And if you've enjoyed today, like I said, sprinkle the love and share this with some of your friends who may need this. And I hope that next week you will join me here on the Erin Burd Live Show for some more joy, for more strategy, some mindset, and some just all-out awesomeness, right? Because y'all are awesome. I'm going to leave you there. Have a fantastic day, y'all. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye, friends.